Okay, that would be really cool. Feature. If you're listening to us, Activision, we want MVP and we want LVP. We want to vote on the worst player on the map, and it's got to be somebody that wasn't there, that was there for the majority of the game. They have to be there for like at least 75% of the game because people pop in, and we need to. And then we need to vote. I think I'm not going to use the term I want to use. We need to vote on the jerk of the map.
Yes.
Yeah, there always
the one
is that.
everybody hates.
Hi, this is Jason, and this is the crew that I like to call old guys playing games. We're here with Josh and Ken and Stuart, and it's the old guys playing games. And what do we have to talk about tonight but the major release of Ken? Tell us what was just released that we're all enamored with.
Call of Duty Vanguard.
Wow. You've heard us talk about it before. Tonight we're going to talk about...
Ken, you could have just set him up with so many different answers
Other-
on that.
I could have, yeah. I could have said
you were
Forza
such a nice
Horizon
guy.
5.
Okay, we've talked about this slightly in the past, but it hadn't really been out yet. We played an early pilot or beta release, but the thing is out. What the heck is, for those of you just tuning in, Call of Duty Vanguard? What the heck is it? Tell us. Stu, Josh, someone.
So Vanguard is every year there's a big release for Call of Duty where they basically release a new game, and they have multiple studios that offset years, so they're not overlapping with development. And this year is Vanguard, and you may have heard Jason talk about our love of the World War II genre, and Vanguard is essentially a World War II themed Call of Duty game. And the cool thing about it is it starts with there's new missions which are very World War II themed, which I'm sure we'll talk about. There's new multiplayer and, of course, new zombie maps, and all of them with the weapons of the date. So Jason will love the fact that I do not get to use a thermal in the 1940s.
Actually, I was
Josh found
previewing
it.
some of the optics, and there is a night vision optic. I don't know what it does.
Then it is not historically accurate because that would be the 60s, but that's fine. We'll let that go.
Oh gosh,
I'm not looking for a story, but it is. So it is a cool. It is the one big thing about these things, right, is that with the advent of the new consoles and the timeline it takes to get to them, this is really the first one that sort of goes into the development cycle what the new consoles are going to be able to do. So we're starting to see some really cool stuff, and it's frankly only the beginning. So that's my short synopsis.
And the campaign is pretty ridiculous. Like I've only played a little bit of the campaign, but man, those cutscenes, it's like you're in a movie, and then you get into the actual fighting. It's amazing. Love
Ken,
it.
what do you think?
Well, I dig it. I've only played the multiplayer and the zombies. I haven't played the campaign yet, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a slower pace. I'm absolutely very terrible at it, but I'm getting better all the time, and I enjoy it. I like it a lot.
It wasn't last night. We played a couple of rounds. It was not slow. Like
it was
There was
not
nothing
slow
slow
at
about it.
all.
I was ready to jump on that.
Ken-
It was. Oh my god, my freaking dogs! They must be
I'll
playing.
take this, Jason. You just let the dogs.
Yeah.
Really?
So go deal with the dog situation. Get your house in order.
For God's sake,
Ken,
host.
we played a domination match last night in basically a shoot house, which, trust me, not boring, very fast, and then one that Josh, you and I played last, which was that sort of Japanese pagoda type of little village. That was with the shoji screens and everything. That was nuts. That was a bit crazy.
Oh, those are the
I would say
Blitz
Ken, it's
level
getting
ones,
better
right?
depending on the game.
Ones that say that it's like 18v18 on a small map.
Yep.
But this was, it's like random. Sometimes it was 6-on-6, sometimes it was 10.
Yeah.
It was,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was. I would honestly, I was thinking about rating this. I give it a 9.87, and I'll tell you why.
Oh my gosh!
The care package, the score streaks not being cumulative bugs me.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
I think they've got to go one way or the other. They flip back and forth between the studios.
I agree with that. And for those of you that don't know what that is, when you earn points, you have these sort of extra things you get that help you, and you know some things you can pick. In the previous game, they went back to the old version, which allowed you basically your points kept going up. You didn't have to reset. But now, once you get a score streak, it resets back to 0, right?
Well, once you die. right? So
Yeah, once you die,
you have
that's
to,
right. which we do a lot. By the
you
way,
have to get 6 kills.
I'm in a constant
before
state of
dying.
death.
You have to get 6 kills before dying to get to a good score streak, which is not exactly easy.
No,
So that's
I
the
agree.
only ding I would give on him. Other than that, I love it. We've had a lot of fun so far.
I'm gonna jump in with a couple of comments, and I think you all have something to say about this. But we love the genre of World War II, so that's a given. It's gonna be fun. I love the maps. I love the damage. Well, I can't remember what they call it, but essentially the map as the game goes on, when you're shooting through walls and bursting through doors and those sorts of things, it progressively gets more damage as the game goes on, very realistically. So you'll start a game, all the doors will be closed, windows will be closed off, and by the time you're done, there's like anything that could be broken down, destructed will be so. And that's so cool as the game goes on to see that play out. And then the last thing, to me, one of my favorite, and I've seen a lot of reviews where people have said this as well, one of the best features of this darn game is this post-game
can't
MVP
believe
voting.
We forgot about that. Yes.
I didn't forget about that. I was dying to talk about this because one of the neat things, when you get done, of course, this group is always jumping to look at who outscored who, right? And it's like you can't wait to get to that screen to see if you were the top of the group. I'm usually the top, but
stats,
no, I'm not. It's always Josh. But the extra dimension here now to keep you engaged is they'll show 3 players across both teams, and you get to, or actually, does it show it just to your team?
No, I think
it just shows your team. So it'll show 3
Good
players
question.
on just your team. I think Stu's right. And you get to vote, and it'll be like different categories of why you might vote for this person. Most headshots, most consecutive kills, whatever, different thing. And then you'll vote, and whoever gets the most points gets a big XP bonus. And that's super fun. We die for that every time. It's like it's a new gift every time we forget it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden we're like, no, we got to vote.
yeah, and I don't get the most time near allies thing. I haven't figured out what that
It means
is,
you're a
but-
That
team
is the
player.
coward mode.
The best part
Whereas
is
the reason mine was I was low man on the leaderboard, but I had the most time near the enemy because I also had the most deaths. So I was the most courageous of the group.
Isn't that the coward?
Yeah,
mode?
that would be
yours
cool
was
if
the
they
coward
did
mode.
like
It's the opposite.
the LVP. Do
Yeah,
at least
that's right.
valuable, like
That's
most
right.
deaths. Or,
I was the,
Everyone
I was the
on the
most
team.
likely to become a
Accurate.
meat shield.
Okay, that would be really cool. Feature. If you're listening to us, Activision, we want MVP and we want LVP. We want to vote on the worst player on the map, and it's got to be somebody that wasn't there, that was there for the majority of the game. They have to be there for like at least 75% of the game because people pop in, and then we need to vote. I think I'm not going to use the term I want to use. We need to vote on the jerk of the map.
Yes.
Yeah, there
The
always
one
is that.
everybody hates,
That's
right?
the person
And we need to
that
tag those
stole
people
all
so
your
when they come
ammo.
in.
Wow, this
The
is
one
such
that
a
stole
great
your kill
idea.
streak when it landed from the plane.
That's right. Those people
I don't
need
know
to come
anyone
in
like
with the
this.
jerk of the map.
I don't know anyone like this. I don't like this idea. Okay. The next thing, I'm just going to go around the horn, and I'm going to ask each of you. The best thing, we've already talked about a few of them, but I know there's so many great things about this thing. I'd love the best thing and the thing that needs to change on this game or the maps or a feature or whatever. So I'm going to start with Josh. Josh, what's the best thing about the game? What thing needs to fix? You already mentioned one of them, but let's pretend you never said that or
Or I'll
choose
just
something
say
else.
it again. No, I think like just some of the cool little nuances, like the sound effects, like the bullets whizzing by. It's just really, really well done.
Yeah.
It's like being in Saving Private Ryan, something like that. So that's it. May not be the best, but to me, it's like it's just such a great nuance.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's the score streaks. That's the only ding I can give on it, honestly. So
Okay.
far, I
Stu.
don't. There's nothing else.
Me?
You're Stu.
I think, yeah. So thank you. I didn't hear that because Josh was still talking. I think for me, I think the environment, the sort of the attention to detail and the realism, I think is for me the coolest thing. Being a history dork, I think it's cool. I mean, there's things I don't like about it that's not fully accurate, but that's not the intent of the game. So I think they do a really good job, to Josh's point, like the reloads. When you're trying to reload like an MG42, you're like, oh, come on. It's like, come on. So that's really good. I think. What would I do? I think. Yeah, I think I agree with Josh. I think the score streak thing is annoying because I don't know. I don't want to play cautiously. I want to go out there and have fun, and then if I kill a bunch of people or whatever, I want to earn my points and get. And so it's fun when you get stuff. So I think that's the big thing for me. I think they need to fix the score streaks. They're not going to be able to do it, obviously, but I think that would be a nice one because I want to get to like that juggernaut with the flamethrower because it's brutal, right? And I want one of those just to run around and just sort of torch people, but I'm never going to get to it.
Send it off the dogs.
Isn't that kind of more realistic?
10 kills in a row.
Ken, you may be able to answer this, or actually, I know you will. They flip the studios, right? So I noticed the last World War II version of Call of Duty was the same, where the score streaks were not cumulative. So I'm assuming it's the studio's call as to whether or not to have that in the game.
Yeah, that's a feature using air quotes.
Right.
That is something that they think is important, and they don't want to stray from what makes them unique, apparently.
Yeah.
So. Maybe that's the concept is because they're going back to a very real historic time. They want to keep it as real as they possibly can, where some of the modern day stuff, the types of weapons and the score streaks and stuff, got to admit, there's some really weird trophy system. I mean, I think we talked about this before, but there can't be anything like a trophy system in real life. Give me a break. You're going to drop something around a place where there are troops, and if someone throws a grenade, it just magically protects them from whatever it is that's thrown their way. So I think they are really trying to stay, accurate and true to the time, and that's maybe one of the ways that they do that.
All right, I'll buy that. I'll buy
possible.
Ken, what about you?
I think
best thing, worst thing?
I think the juggernaut that blazes fire and can't be killed is very accurate, so that's good.
In some ways, flamethrowers and like a big heat suit.
It's a
Flammenhofer.
Ken, best thing, worst thing?
So, the thing I think is going to be the best that I don't know that I've experienced yet, to be honest with you, is this idea of streaming textures. So this game is the first that is utilizing high bandwidth to stream extra textures to give you even better graphics on the fly. It gives you the option to turn that on or off, but if you turn it off, you use the textures from the disc. But if you leave it on, it will actually try to stream better textures, and they can do that on the fly and make changes and improvements as you go, which I think is a really, really great idea. And looking forward to seeing the difference. So I'm going to play with that. I'm going to turn that on and off and see if I see any differences.
Ken is our expert on all the settings. So usually we give Ken a few days with the game, and then we join, and Ken's like, okay, stop. Everyone go into this setting. And he takes us through every setting. Now, I can't always
change all our settings. Now he's worried he's stuck on one. He can't figure out which one was screwing up. He started blaming his settings. So I don't know what's happening. It must be the settings.
Yeah. I'm always on the low on the leaderboard, and it's got to be my setting.
Yeah, because he always pushes the limits on what those settings are and can do.
The thing that I wish they would fix. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, Fink.
No. Sorry, I thought you were done. No. Because I was gonna get back to Jason's comment.
So
about
the only thing I would like
anyway,
to think that they think it would change. I would hope that they would change, but this kind of goes for all multiplayer games, really. I wish they would penalize the people that jump around. They use this as such.
Yes.
They use that as such a. It's almost like
speaking of not realistic,
it's almost like capitalizing on a glitch in the software if you hop around, because you can't aim at something that's hopping around like that, and it's certainly not realistic. There's no stamina button or meter in this game, so the person hopping around, I'm sorry, you don't have unlimited, stamina. You can't do that all day long. Of course, my character would be sitting in the corner, breathing heavy because he can't run across the field. But I just think that's something that they need to consider, because especially for us old guys, there's got to be a setting in there. Don't pair us with people that hop around. If you want to do that, go play Halo or something. This is not a game.
Go play Fortnite.
Yeah, go play Fortnite.
I love the stamina idea.
Yeah,
it's
an awesome.
Like,
that's a mic drop sort of comment.
But
think about it, they have that in sports games, right?
Right.
Put it in this game too.
Yeah. That's
I mean, they
great.
But
keep
not based on the actual human, because I'd be screwed.
well, yeah, really, like TENS pads on your body, it'll affect you.
I have a literal ice pack with me right now.
Jason would be,
I
would be
don't
out of
even want to
commission.
know
Always
what that's
out.
for.
Jason, I'm going
It's
to
on
be
my
at
hip.
headquarters, guys. I'm going to be at headquarters.
So, if
Exactly.
you guys remember in Cold War during the Halloween, they had a fear meter for some of the Halloween
yeah.
stuff.
So they could do
Yeah.
something like
They
this.
could
right?
build something out of that. Yeah.
I think Ken is onto something as always. I love that idea. I'll just, because that's hard to top in terms of what to fix. I'll just give what I think is great. This game, I feel like for the first of all the Call of Duties, you actually can hide a bit better than you've ever been able to hide. I'm not saying like you're always just in a sniper's position or something, but literally if you're going on to an enemy territory and you're just hiding behind a tree really quickly, you're actually tough to see unless someone saw you run across the screen and hide behind that tree or that building or that thing. It is actually the camouflage, and it's more realistic in that sense. That's one of the things that I hate most about the other games is the damn player indicators. The enemy indicators are so damn big. It's like if you wanted to get a good position, you're going to be seen before long, and very unrealistically.
I agree.
I think it's a good point. And going back to the beta we talked about, the beta was, remember, we couldn't see anything, and it was like, oh my, this is horrible. I think just like they did with the last beta, they fixed it so you see enough, but it's not overly done. So I think they did a really good job, and so we should give them credit back to the conversation we were having on the beta that they did
That's
fix
a good
it.
point.
Yeah, they definitely listened to us.
I like the fact that your reticle doesn't highlight until you actually pass the reticle across the enemy. You don't see this little red dot show up until your reticle crosses their path.
I don't know if I noticed that, but that's right.
Yeah, because I was searching for a sniper the other night. I knew he was in a window, but I couldn't see him because he was back further and their light wasn't shining on him. He was in the shade or in the shadows, and I just kind of scanned the room with my reticle, and when it turned red, I'm like, there he is.
But you can also, there's different attachments that allow reveal distance,
Thermal?
right?
I'm sorry.
I think
Yeah.
that
Can we also talk about the insta-kill dogs? Can somebody explain to me
those dogs.
how a dog can
the
just jump on you
invincible
and you die?
dogs.
I'm a little
The
impressed.
invincible-
That
What about
they-
the one? Yeah, the one Josh and I couldn't kill with like 4 clips yesterday.
I'm just impressed the Germans actually made Kevlar vests or metal vests for the dogs because they took a full clip the other day. I couldn't put one down.
No.
So that's pretty impossible. But
Yeah, no, the dogs are a little bit. I think they need to nerf the dogs.
yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. I think they're a little too much.
So we'll play more of this game. We'll share more about how it plays out and what we see. They change the maps and the game types enough that we're going to see a ton of maps and a ton of game types in a very short period of time. We'll be able to talk about. If I had any, maybe my one suggestion would be, in addition to what everyone else said, is like when a game launches like this, like maybe let some of the games stick a little bit longer. There's already a few game types that I miss, and this game has not even been out a week. Patrol, for example, is gone. Like we played last night. Patrol is gone. So just leave them a little bit longer because we're just getting.
I
used
assume there's some sort of behavioral scientist they have on staff that tells them to do
course
this to
there
drive
is,
us
yeah.
crazy, right?
to keep us engaged, right? That's got to be what it's
Yes.
all about. Okay,
Well,
I got another
what's
fun
your favorite
topic.
map right now?
I like the I don't know what it's called, but it's a desert scene.
Desert.
It's the one that you guys said. This feels like Indiana Jones.
Is that it might be
Yeah.
called
I like-
Desert Siege. I can't remember what it's called either, but I think that was
Yeah, God, there's so many I like. I like a lot of them. I like the for kills, I like the U-boat one because I figured that one out. But I think I also just think it's cool looking. Right?
sub pens.
The one with the what's the one? I like the one with the it has like I think it's a church. There's a tower like in the middle, and then
Yes,
like it's snow on the ground. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
that's the one with the
fun
lake,
you
the
can-
frozen lake.
Yes,
What was
yes,
it? Is that
one.
Eagle's Nest?
That's awesome.
No,
I don't know the
Sure,
names.
no.
Ken always remembers the names. I always.
It's not Dome. I know that. No, isn't it? It's like Glockenspiel or something. It's got one of those weird names.
Glockenspiel. That's the K.
Before you move to the next topic,
Okay, bring it.
Jason, I just wanted to. I just googled trophy system.
Oh my gosh,
I was
it's a real
thinking
thing.
That's what the
I love it.
That's what the dome is over Israel, but not. That's a much
Yeah.
larger scale. But a new and lightweight version of Israel's trophy active defense system neutralized more than
That's for
95%
missiles, like-
of munitions
It's not for.
fired at it and tests conducted. And no, this summer ahead of testing for its the Striker Army vehicle or something.
Huh.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool.
It looks
Interesting.
like it's something they mount, and it can knock down projectiles.
Yeah, probably hits them.
Schnock 'em down.
Schnock them down, man. Just schnock them down. I
Is
like
that what
it.
I said?
So there you go. There's there you go, people. There's history for you.
Yeah. Hey, if there's a real thing,
No,
that's a great thing for our troops.
Really,
Thermals
why I
are
wanted to say
real.
this because I just wanted to say that Jason was wrong.
Yeah.
So that's really why I wanted
Okay,
to do that.
I'm going to move us on to a next topic. I saw a story that I shared with the guys earlier today that I'm so jazzed about. It actually might be a reason I might go back to Vegas, other than a big conference. Did you guys see? Of course, everyone read it except Stuart. I'm looking at his eyes like, I didn't see it.
I was busy working all day.
Yeah,
so no.
I magically can do that too. And
I
read.
take offense to that.
So there is a hotel that's being designed and built to open in 2022. Maybe I think it was like late 2022. The
Yeah, this is
Atari
sometime
Hotel. And it looks unfreaking believable. Anyone with me on this?
So, Stuart, before we get to you to talk about this, you need to look at the link and,
Yeah.
and look at it.
So, Ken, what do you think?
There's
I knew
so
Ken read
much
it.
they could do
I'm
with
on it
this
because
thing.
this doesn't sound like the scenery
I'm-
be good, but I'm going to look.
I'm going to
There's going to be
start.
so
I'm
many beautiful
actually,
looking video games.
So are we keeping this G-rated or are we not keeping it
What are you
G-rated?
talking? I'm talking about. I'm talking about
I'm
the Atari
fine with
decor,
not.
Josh.
I'm fine with not.
So Ken read the article. Ken, what
I'm
what
pissed.
are your first
I'm
impressions?
absolutely
You're pissed.
pissed because we did not come up with this idea first.
Yes.
I think it's a very, very, I mean, especially now where gaming is so popular and esports is so popular. And people love themed hotels. You know, we are dumb for stuff like that. I think it's a really good idea. I mean, I like the idea, especially for our age group where, you know, in the 80s, video games were big. This having that kind of feel and look, you know, in a very low bit, as they said in the article, low bit textures and stuff. I think it would be very, very cool. And the fact that they mentioned that every room's going to have multiple game systems available and 24-hour tech support, you know, and if you have a controller breakdown, they'll bring you one. I really like the idea. I think it's fascinating. I think for a lot of, you know, World of Warcraft nerds that grow up to be men and have families and stuff, these guys would
And
love
women.
to go. Yeah, thank you. And women. They would love to go to a place and hang out together and
Right.
do what they love. And if their love is gaming, this is an opportunity for them to do something like that, you know?
And that, of course, that's where all the big esport, you know, events will be held, right? It'll be the place to go. I think they looked at their demographic of the people that will spend a lot of time, retirees that will spend a lot of time vacationing in Vegas over the next 20 years. And they said, there's this age group that grew up with video games and Atari specifically.
So
This is going to be a
what's going to make this successful though is what they have around it. So not just a hotel, they have to have a conference center to be able to host games, host video game trade shows. It also has to have the right shopping around it, you know, some cool old school stuff, you know, like I don't want to.
I'd like to comment. now.
Oh wait.
okay.
Hold
on. Let Ken finish his
Go
thought.
ahead.
That was a quick skip.
Go ahead, Ken.
No, I was just saying. I think that what's going to make them successful is to have stuff around it that supports the theme and not just the hotel itself.
Stu's thought about it. He's
this
right.
has Jason Warnke written all over. This
it.
is the idea where Jason's like, dude, here's the idea. Atari Hotel, right? Everybody our age group's going to come. Everything's going to get.
They will.
Okay, it's just renderings, which I have no clue how they open something in
2022.
Okay, well, I know, but there's just renderings, Jason. There's not even like a forklift.
But you see
here's
how
my
fast
take.
they built that NFL stadium they built there in as quick a time as
Throw
they
enough
did.
money at
They
something,
did.
it'll get built.
They did. I'm intrigued. I'm
Okay.
intrigued. Though when I'm in Vegas, I want to stay at the Cosmo. I'm not sure I want to stay at the Atari Hotel, but that doesn't mean I won't go there. And I think I'm assuming it's more than Atari. I assume they're going to do there'll be Xboxes and PlayStations and all that stuff. It's just going to be Atari themed. So that is sort of cool. But then if you know, I want to see where is it on the strip? I didn't see how
They
far
haven't
down it
announced
is.
that yet. They haven't announced.
I think it's
it.
interesting.
I mean, it may not be on the strip.
Yeah, I can see us
Doesn't
doing a
have to be on the
podcast
strip.
live from
Ooh,
the Atari Hotel.
I'm on
I like the
Atari
sound of
Hotel
that.
guys, if you're listening right now, old guys playing games would like to come and
In
do
fact,
a podcast.
if you're not designing a podcast studio in somewhere in that hotel, you're already behind. So
We'll bring
be
a
the-
couple high rollers with us. It's not us, but we know a couple. We know twin brothers who like to gamble, so I'm just going to put it up.
I mean, you can imagine that the actual. We didn't talk about the
Winklevoss.
casino itself, but the casino will have all video game themed whatever, right? The slots plus the tables, the AI tables.
Wait, did it say it had a casino? It would have a casino in it?
It has to have a casino. It's Vegas.
It doesn't have to.
Well, it did mention that.
The airport has a casino.
It did mention that they said that a lot of the people that go there don't necessarily want to play the poker and the games and the casino games. They do want to play games, but it's that's why they offer it in the hotel rooms. But it doesn't say that they are or are not going to have a casino. But I can't imagine them not having some kind of revenue in that department.
The question is, which suite do we stay in? Is it the?
Well, I'm looking for Jason to purchase
there's a question.
the permanent resident penthouse. I think that's a good idea.
So
Yeah.
let's figure out. So okay, well, here's a question for you, Jason. I'm going to take over.
Yeah.
If
Please.
there were based on game themes, if you could stay in a suite in the new Atari Hotel,
Ooh,
what
this is a
suite
fun
would
one.
be your suite? So let's start on. Jason's going to take a minute. So let's go, Ken. What suite would you stay in?
I think mine would have to be an adventure themed. It would have to be like a Pitfall or something
knew
like
you'd
that.
say
I'm
that.
sorry, I'm stuck on the Pitfall, man. I love that genre, whether it's movies or video games. I really enjoy that. So I think mine, the Jungle Room. It would have to be the Jungle Room. That's what it would be.
I like it. Josh?
Does it have to be Atari?
No,
No.
Any video game.
NBA Jam.
Double
Oh, it's gonna
dribble.
be- yeah.
Double dribble.
No. I would think it would be something like maybe I went back to Contra, something like that. Something.
So guns in the room.
I like a Contra
Yeah.
room. That'll go well in Vegas. That's good.
Fire and
yeah,
explosions.
I mean, it's,
I'll let it-
politically correct and
That'd be cool.
All
That'd be
that
cool.
these
Alarm
days.
clock. You could do a cool alarm clock feature in that room. I like it.
I don't know. I was trying to think retro. I mean, well, let's do a Call of Duty room. Like, I mean, come on.
I wouldn't want
Okay.
a Call of
No.
Duty room, to be honest with you.
No. So I like. All right, Jason.
I think it's my answer. Of
Sims.
course, it has to be Leisure Suit Larry.
Isn't Vegas? I was thinking the same thing, but isn't Vegas, by its definition, leisure?
What
suit
happens
Larry?
in Vegas stays in Vegas.
No, I think I actually would love a full Pac-Man room where it was like every version of the major Pac-Man games, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, the whole thing. Because that game that is one stand-up arcade game that no matter like what else is around, I will play a good amount of Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man in addition to whatever else is in the arcade. So I would love, to me, if I'm thinking about like where would I want to spend time in the hotel room when I wasn't out doing stuff around Vegas, like, oh, if I had unlimited access to a stand-up Pac-Man game, oh my gosh, I'm all about that.
I couldn't do that. I'm
Right.
scared of ghosts.
Stewie, you asked the
I ain't
question.
scared of no ghosts. All right, so if it was mine, I would probably, back to the last podcast, I'd want a Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, that'd be
Right.
very cool.
So I'd want a Dragon's Lair. That would be cool. I think it's they have a unique ability to do similar to how Disney does with
Experiences with the
Experience or the All Stars Place or the Pop Century and those
Right.
kind of things. I think you could do some cool stuff and it doesn't cost a ton to do. But I also wouldn't mind a room that looks like an old 80s arcade.
Oh, that would be cool too. Yeah, complete
what I mean?
with sticky floors.
Complete with sticky, though, that sort of black carpet with the colored speckles in it.
Smells like
and,
the devil's lettuce.
Yeah,
Pipe in the sound.
exactly. Some grumpy old man comes in every once in a while, yells at you about we don't have to change.
Smoky
Yeah,
all the time.
that's right.
Everybody's getting emphysema.
Yeah, I like it though. So that's an interesting new twist. And is it a shift in the Vegas clientele?
Well, they just what was the last big? Ken will know this because Ken reads these things. But there's a hotel that's about to open. It's a big, massive dome shaped thing, and I can't for the life of me. I'll have to look it up. But click, click, click on the keyboard. But they're shifting to these more like experience based things versus just let's build a beautiful hotel that has great restaurants and a casino and great shopping malls, which has been the thing for the past 10 years. I can't think of what that big dome-shaped one is, but I think they're shifting that way, Stewie, where it's more about
You're talking about like
bringing you there.
the mega resorts, the ones that actually looks like it's an entire resort where they have everything involved, not just
it's literally this massive dome, and I want to say it's a movie themed.
Interesting.
I will find it.
I'm a little concerned. I think we need to maybe not publish this episode because all these ideas are awesome, and I don't want anybody else to do this. I want us to be able to swim in money after coming up with these ideas.
It's the MSG Sphere, MSG Entertainment, near
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, so MSG Entertainment is their overall entertainment company, but I don't know.
Has this been built?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah, you can see. I'll ping this link. You can see what this thing is shaping up to be. It's massive.
Well, I know where I'm going during the zombie apocalypse.
Stu's going to say, well, that looks like when my father-in-law built the dome at Epcot Center.
Hey, this is a podcast.
If you look at that link, you'll notice the size of the scale of that thing, Stewie. Look at that. As an engineer,
I'm not looking.
Pick
It's
that.
like the World's Fair.
That link.
He'll look at it
reminds me of
later.
The World's Fair.
Oh my
Back when they
gosh,
used to do
man.
that.
It's massive, right?
It's like the Apple compound.
Yeah, the problem is, does Vegas become the Luxor? Does it become eventually just abandoned because people stop going? Does the younger
great
generation
question.
look to go there? I don't know. Right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I certainly don't hear our kids talk about
Especially
it.
since you can gamble anywhere now, right? Even in the state of Florida.
No, post COVID too. I mean, hotels have been taking a hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although the ones in Orlando seem to continue to.
Orlando's nuts. You can't go anywhere. You can't move in Orlando at this point.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, with that, we covered some great topics. We're going to probably get back to a little Call of Duty Vanguard. And I'm sure as this Atari thing in Vegas shapes up, we'll revisit that topic. Anything else before we call this episode finished?
We need to figure out how to do the playing broadcast.
Oh, yeah. So if any of you listeners have a really bright idea, we know Ken has the idea, but this group doesn't listen to Ken. If you have a great idea on how...
We do.
I'm kidding.
Nobody listens to Ken.
If any of our listeners have a really great idea on how we can record an episode as we're playing a game. Now we're gonna have to
love Ken.
we're gonna have to like censor ourselves because this group can get a little
Nope.
off color from time to time.
What? No.
I'm just like language, right? This is a rated G or whatever.
I don't.
Oh yeah, Josh
Never.
doesn't.
Get off color.
But if
Fiddlesticks. That guy shot me. Fiddlesticks.
if anyone has a bright idea on how we can effectively record an episode of a podcast where you can clearly hear us, and we really don't want to hear the game,
And your
we just
name's
want
not
to hear
Ken.
us. And your name's not Ken, because Ken clearly has the answer.
Why can't we do that in teams?
Ken already has come up with it. I think there's a way to do it. Anyway, that is good. We're going to figure it out. If we figure it out, it's over the holidays that are coming up, and it'll be a fun holiday fest of us playing games.
And me coming in first.
Ken,
And
if you were watching us,
Maybe we
this
can time
episode,
it when
you would-
season 1 starts.
when we wondered that. We played last night, and we said, when does season 1 start? And we said, Ken would know.
I believe it's the first week of December.
Oh, wow.
Look,
That's
Ken
far off.
does
Same as it
know.
was last year.
Same as it ever was.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, we'll play season 1, and Stu's doing the sign from the Talking Heads. You know, the motion where he does down the arm.
Old
Same as
guys.
it ever was. Love that damn song. Okay, with that, we're going to call this episode a close, and we're going to go play some Call of Duty Vanguard.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.